Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. Looks like we are all the way live. We are all the way live. So as you can see, tonight's live stream is going to be about, I would say, bigotry. I wouldn't say it's really even politics as well. I guess politics mixes in with it a little bit or whatever you want to say. But we have a lot to discuss. So tonight I want to show basically the hypocrisy, the patterns that you can see between bigotry and the manosphere, because I think they're all in one. But not only that, but just in a human community based feature, I just want to show some comparisons that maybe might be eye opening to you. So, without further ado, we're going to get right into this. Let me go ahead and get on screen. Get on screen. Let me fix that up a little bit. Uh, we're going to start with Chud the Builder because we have to have a baseline of bigotry. And I think Chud really hits the spot. Chud's really in the mix there. But you're going to find out that unfortunately, you are going to see a similarity between Chud and other black men in the black manosphere. I'm only spotting them because they seem to be the most vocal as far as supporting bigotry. And you will be shocked. You're going to be shocked. So anyway, without further ado, let me kick it in now. Let me get on. Let me get on stage here. Here we go. So I hope you can see me okay. It's not going to be a super long live stream because I'm chopping the live streams up to try to keep them more focused on just one program. So here we go.
Online influencer Chud the Builder will remain behind bars, accused of attempted murder and linked to dozens of violent videos online. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 5. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Wilkes. News 2's Lexi Wilson explains what happened in a Davidson County courthouse this morning.
Okay, let me pause it right there. Chud the Builder is very, very much a sick person, in my opinion. He in this particular situation, he was he was attacking black people, but basically I believe he's a sick person. He needs to be where he's at right now until he can get his act together, which could be a very long time. But let's hear some more. Here we go.
Dalton Etherly, better known as Chud the Builder, enters a Davidson County courtroom Wednesday. The social media influencer facing charges in Nashville after he refused to stop live streaming inside a restaurant at the Omni Hotel and then refused to pay. But the hearing today mostly focused on a separate case in Montgomery County. Prosecutors played videos and reviewed social media posts made by Etherly, posted before the shooting outside the Montgomery County courthouse. They were racist and violent.
So even social media would recognize what he's saying is improper.
Yes, sir.
And improper is a nice word, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Etherly is charged with attempted murder in that case. Etherly's attorney argued the court should consider threats his client receives online.
Mr. Etherly has made complaints about people making threats to him, correct? In fact, to the local sheriff, well, I say local, we're in Davidson County. But
This is where Etherly's or Chud the Builder's issue falls apart. If he really had concerns about people saying violent things to him, the best thing to do is to go to the authorities, especially if he's a white dude. He'd probably be getting a better response than most. So that's going to be a hard problem for him to beat. The fact of the matter is that him getting violent threats, him claiming violent threats, we're not saying he's getting violent threats, but claiming to get violent threats and then returning that with more violence is the problem. It's not like that's the one thing that's funny. And it's not just limited to just Chud the Builder, but a lot of weird people out there, they tend to play the victim after they are held accountable, or people hold them accountable for their own actions. And that's the only reason. If he really had concerns about his own, safety, then he should have went to the authorities. Let's see what this guy has to say. Here we go.
Montgomery County Sheriff's Department, he's made several complaints, including people threatening to chop his infant son's head off.
In the end, the judge sided with prosecutors and revoked Etherly's Davidson County bond, citing concerns about the violent social media posts. Etherly's attorney filed a motion to dismiss the charges in Nashville, but that was not addressed today.
Mr. Etherly's looking at being held without bond on misdemeanors that he ought to have been cited for. And he's charged with a resisting arrest that I think even the state would capitulate as improper.
His next court appearance in Davidson County is set for June 25th. Etherly is also facing a $1 million bond in the Montgomery County shooting case.
Wow. So the thing is he's got so much going on that he ain't going to have nothing going on. But let's keep it going, y'all. Here we go.
And I don't submit to women at all, ever, because I genuinely believe
This is Myron Gaines. I see him very much as another Chud the Builder. He's just got darker skin. That's the only difference. Let me just play it. Here we go.
man, it's my job to be superior in every single way. And by eating box, what are you doing? You're showing inferiority, even if it's for a split second. So that's why I don't do it.
Does that turn y'all off?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was doing dry.
Tell us what you think. Do you eat the cat?
I don't think a woman's pleasure during sex really matters like that.
Oh,
That's crazy. So you've never eaten box at least once, and then made that decision, or it was just off
I did it
the rip?
once in 2013, and I'll never do it again.
Was it a bad experience?
It's actually May of 2013. I remember. I don't even know.
Yeah, Myron is gay, man. Myron is 100% a homosexual. And I'm not saying that because Myron said that he doesn't do box.
So the reason why.
Let me pause that because that wasn't. I want to find the one where. Yeah, here we go. Like to kick a shout out to I Said What I Said and Tevin in the house. Good seeing you here. We're just getting the party warmed up right now. Here we go.
Tactics and apparently questionable photo ops. Let's dive into the chronicles of Myron.
Yeah, here we go. You see, this man ain't got no pants on right here. He ain't got no pants on. This is his boyfriend. As you can see, I have on the photo here. This is not AI, ladies and gentlemen. This is a real picture. And hey, there's nothing wrong with two men showing brotherly love. The issue in this serious issue that's going on here, Sunset says, I love eating muff. MG is saying all that stuff. That stuff was, but wouldn't be surprised if you found the download. I know, huh? But yeah, I mean, the thing is that to me, okay, there's nothing wrong with Myron being LGBTQ, which he is, by the way. Let's face it, he is. The problem is the visceral hate he has for LGBTQ and for Black people. And what's ironic about it is that he just happens to be Black and he just happens to be gay. Yeah, that's called premium self-hate. Let's play a little bit more of this. Here we go. That's Myron's boyfriend. Why am I bringing this up? I just was calling Myron, self-hating and everything. But what does what does his gayness have to do with anything? I mean, you can still be self-hating and gay, right? No, it's the fact that he doesn't like being gay. He doesn't like gay people either. Isn't that weird? Do you see the pattern here? Do you see the pattern that's forming of self-hatred, not only for skin color, but of sexual orientation? All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're going to get right into it. We're getting right into this, this whole kit thing. Again, let me go ahead and drop the link just in case somebody wants to come up soon. Yeah, I'm getting started early. I'm not doing a whole lot of commentary tonight. So we're definitely going to have a conversation about this. And tomorrow night, we're definitely going to be talking about the other cases that, what's going on. So here we go. I want to show you what bigotry looks like. Let me start with this clown right here.
The fighter Josh Hokett would disrespect former First Lady Michelle Obama during a post-fight interview.
And lastly, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
This is going to surprise you. I'm going to show you another bigot who said pretty much the same thing. Pretty much. Check it out. Check it out.
I'm talking about Serena Williams and all this.
There is Kevin Samuels. Listen closely to what he said about Michelle Obama. Shout out to Why Seeking Knowledge in the house. Here we go. It's good seeing you.
Michelle Obama score. Michelle Obama was about a 4 in my opinion. 4? She was not an attractive woman to me. What? Michelle Obama? Wow. 4? 4. 5 maybe. I mean, he used to one of the time in Sotomayor's live, Michelle Obama looked like a dude I used to play pickup basketball with. Wow.
Does that sound familiar to you? It should.
Wow.
You hear this motherfucker right here?
Mad handles. I mean, the jawline and the shoulders. Wow.
What he's talking about is African-American features on a black woman. And if you saw Michelle Obama, she does not look like a man. However, this same gentleman right here that you're looking at, or who passed away, strangely enough, from not being, I guess, healthy, he had no problem, him and his Manosphere dudes, coaching up Just Pearly Things. And if you remember how Just Pearly Things look, we've seen Caucasian people talk about how bad Just Pearly Things looks and masculine Just Pearly Things looks. But let's keep it going. But he made a point. He didn't talk masculine about, he didn't say Just Pearly Things was masculine, but he sure said Michelle Obama was masculine. And Michelle Obama doesn't even know this guy from a can of paint.
Y'all think about that. So what I want to do is I want to really have a simple, if you have.
There it is. Garbage 1 and garbage 2. Hokett is garbage 1. The late Kevin Samuels is garbage 2. Exactly. Both men made a point of dehumanizing and degenderizing, I think I made that word up, but Michelle Obama, who represents the best in African American women. So just like Hokett, Kevin Samuels made went out of his way to insult African American women. He himself has his own little soiree with men as well, just like Myron did. Let's dig into it deeper. Here we go. It's that simple. There's no more argument about it. Now you see why you may not agree, and you may not agree that he's trash, but you should now understand why he could be called trash. You don't have to like it, but you definitely understand why this passed away, you know, with a whore on top of him. No, he was on top of the whore. But anyway, this man deserves little respect, in my opinion. He's just as bad as he's just as bad as this dude right here. Same, just as bad. Just as bad. Just as bad. Had no problem having Future on his show, but he has the gall. Let me play it again. Why Seeking Knowledge breaks it down perfectly by saying him referring to Kevin Samuels, lean back, looking all sexy for his male audience. He got on when he was he got on when he was insulting black women and sold his soul for that coin. Yep. The ancestors don't like it. And let me tell you something. When Kevin is not dressed up, he's not the best looking guy himself. He's not the best. Yeah, look at Kevin right there. He's average at best himself. That's the funny thing, was what I find in the manosphere and online for pretty much anyone, ugly men have no problem insulting women. That is weird. Attractive men, you will rarely see insulting women. It's very, very, very rare. One of the few men who used to do that, but he's gone into more of a manipulation, pickup artist vibe, is Austin Holloman. But let's keep it going. Here we go. Best looking guy himself. If he dresses well, he looks okay. He's maybe a 5. But you catch him in a t-shirt. If you caught him in a t-shirt like some other dudes did, like that guy who was laying down in his bed. Yeah, remember the glitch? The glitch video where Kevin was in his bedroom because he only had, at this time when he was recording this video, he only had like, you know, a small apartment room studio or whatever who he was renting from a woman. And ironically, you know, it's funny how these misogynists be depending on women to keep them afloat. But anyway, this man was sleeping in his bed after a long trip. Yeah, he went to see Kevin, which is okay. It's okay if he has that preference. See, this is the thing, is that this is the preference of men in the manosphere, other men. Nothing wrong with it as long as he leave black women alone. But unfortunately, he didn't do that, did he? He wasn't happening. Let me play it again.
Comment to me. What? Michelle Obama? Ah. Hmm. 4, 5, maybe. I mean, he used to want to Tommy Sotomayor's line. Michelle Obama looked like a dude I used to play pickup basketball with. Wow.
And it's funny that he mentioned Tommy Sotomayor, who is basically a male whore. He had his own OnlyFans channel.
You didn't tell me. People started DMing me on Twitter and Instagram saying, you know, Tommy got an OnlyFans with pornographic material on it. And I'm like,
yeah. You know, high and mighty Tommy Sotomayor was a 304. He might still be. If he didn't get kicked off of OnlyFans, and don't ask me how you get kicked off of OnlyFans, but he somehow did that. He got kicked off of OnlyFans. But for some reason, the black male manosphere still respects him. Even though if it was a woman that did that, they'd be talking trash about her. The irony and the hypocrisy is amazing. Well, I think I know that you nailed it. Yeah, the troll showed up. Let's see what the troll has to say. Feel free to, pick him apart. Pick them apart. Here we go. Shout out to him if he wants to make that kind of money that way. But the funny thing and the ironic thing about these bandits, that's the best word for them, is that they are hypocrites. If Tommy wants to make money being a whole, that's fine. But don't come around and try to discredit women. Let me pause right here because Black Republican, he's really trying to get down in the chat. Black Republican says, Kevin Samuels saved marriages and helped a lot of women to get married. The ones that listened. Actually, he didn't. If you notice, he rarely had, for somebody who had 1 million followers, you really it's 1.4 million followers, but for someone, maybe it dropped down because people started finding out who he was. But for somebody to have that many followers, he should literally have people getting married almost every day. But no, his goal was to insult people. Remember now, Kevin Samuels, like I keep saying over and over again, was a failed double divorced man. He was horrible to women. He was horrible to his wives. They talked about him. They wrote him in the memoirs about how they didn't talk about him directly, but they talked about having to endure him indirectly. He was a horrible person to women. So to say that, and then again, Black Republican says, DJ, men and women are different. So that's the ironic thing. So basically what Black Republican is saying, and I guess, it's funny because the party, is supposed to be the party of God and everything, and all that kind of stuff. But for some reason, it's weird that it always comes out that they condone whoredom more than anybody. So it's okay for Tommy Sotomayor, in their opinion, to be promiscuous. But for women, it's different. Let's keep it going. And anyway, because you ain't even got the wherewithal. These dudes just let me calm down here for a minute. This is DJ Torch. I'm out of here. Let me calm down. Yeah, here's this part right here. So what I'm showing you right now is, so Kevin Samuels has the nerve. Remember now, he insulted the first Black first lady. He went out of his way to do that. So as you can see, he's giving you that Hokit energy. But he has no problem on his own show featuring Future, who has 8 women. He has 8 kids by 7 women, or is it 9 kids by 8 women? Future is the epitome of Pookie behavior, of male promiscuity, of banditry. He fits all of that. And Kevin Samuels had the nerve to, before, after insulting the first lady, who ironically talked and was an ambassador for fitness. Maybe if you listen to her more, Kevin might still be around. But he brings literally a male 304 on the show. This is either before or after he called, Russell Wilson a simp. But Russell Wilson was a simp to his wife, he was married to. Now, here's the funny thing. So he criticizes married people because we remember Michelle Obama married, Russell Wilson married. Future, not so much. Future had at least 10 opportunities to be married. He didn't. He chose to be promiscuous. Let me just play a touch of what they talk about here. Here we go.
I mean, admitting you have an addiction is never easy, especially when you do it publicly. So Chanel, Birkin, Dior, APs, five-star hotels, vacations. And last year, how much would you say you spent on women?
He said last year, how much did you spend on women? And he's asking Future that question. Let's keep playing it. Here we go.
Probably like, around 2-3.
2,000-3,000. It's not so bad.
Nah, 3 million.
So, as you can see, he has no problem calling Russell Wilson a simp for marrying a multimillionaire in Ciara. He has no problem insulting Michelle Obama's beautiful African features. But he has no problem promoting and supporting a promiscuous black male that spends $3 million on women that he's not even married to. And he's not talking about the women that the child support women. He is talking about women that he just doesn't even know. He spends $3 million on them. My question to Future and my question to the late Kevin Samuels is, who's the simp now? Who's the simp now? Let's keep it going.
Hit that like button.
We're going to go past this.
Just 12 hours after Josh Hokit insulted Michelle Obama, Dana White made 3 major decisions. Josh Hokit defeated Derek Lewis at UFC Freedom 250. But during the post-fight interview, he suddenly insulted Michelle Obama by calling her a man, which sparked a major controversy. And after these remarks, Dana White immediately took 3 actions. First, Dana White strongly rejected Josh Hokit's comments in an interview, stating clearly that the UFC does not support any baseless personal attacks, and that Hokit's remarks do not represent the organization's position in a high-exposure event like a White House fight. His handling of the situation effectively helped the UFC contain the damage in time. Second, Dana White decided to ban Josh Hokit from participating in any UFC-related events.
Oh, did you see that part where Josh Hokit walked out there drunk as heck? Let me see if I can find that. I can't believe I didn't put that in the mix. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. Hokit pre. Fight interview. Yeah, let me see. Comes up. Yeah, here we go.
The incredible.
Look at him.
$233.
233, the official weight for Josh Hogan.
Here we go, Josh. Right here. Hold it up for me, boy. Thank you.
Look at him. He's so small, he's embarrassed. There's another one too. Let me get the other one out too. There's another one that's even funnier. Where is that one? Yeah. Yeah, here we go.
Josh Hogan.
This is watch this.
So what? Maybe I was drinking last night. But who won it?
Josh Hogan.
So what? Maybe I was drinking last night. But who won it?
I mean, it's pitiful. Yes, that is vomit. Man, you know, that is crazy to me. Let me go back to the, let me go back. Man. Okay, let me get back to this. Let me get back to this. What did I do with it? Hold on one second.
UFC Freedom.
Josh Hogan.
Okay, wait. Get rid of that. Oh yeah, this is it. Okay. So let me play the rest of this. Here we go.
That the UFC does not support any baseless personal attacks, and that Hoket's remarks do not represent the organization's position in a high-exposure event like a White House fight. His handling of the situation effectively helped the UFC contain the damage in time. Second, Dana White decided to ban Josh Hoket from participating in any UFC-related events and removed all brand partnerships UFC had with him. The comment not only harmed the promotion's image, but also negatively impacted the UFC as a whole. Finally, Dana White decided not to pay out Hoket's fight purse, instead donating the full amount to
I don't know. They were a little bit too friendly here. I wouldn't be surprised if that fight was staged. Because look, they all smiling.
Finally, Dana White decided not to pay out Hoket's fight purse, instead donating the full amount to Michelle Obama's foundation, Girls Opportunity Alliance, to support Black women in difficult living conditions and help.
We got to look that up and see if that's true. I think Dana White's just trying to FAFO. Yep, you nailed it. I said what I said. FAFO for Josh. I mean, he lost all his money. All he had to do is, let me keep it going, but I'm
improve their lives.
We'll see.
Reporting live from Hypers Club.
Okay, let's fast forward.
Lastly, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
I mean, so I'm going to look into that because I think Dana White knew what he was getting into. Let me play this spot right here. Okay, if you notice, if this guy looks familiar to you, he was on Kevin's roast. So let's see what he has to say.
Since then, several people who would attend the night and watch the moment from home have gone on to share that they did not like the comment, including comedian Shane Gillis, who was there that night. As he would tell TMZ, he didn't love the moment.
Hey Shane, how'd you enjoy the night, man?
It's pretty cool.
What do you think of Josh Hockett's joke?
Yeah, you please.
What do you think of him saying Michelle Obama's a man?
I didn't love that.
A lot of people have said the opposite. That's why I
don't like that.
Trump's job.
Yes, we're all good. We're all good. Thank you.
Now, a day after a large amount of Democrats and others would condemn Hokett's remarks, he would break his silence by finally giving his own explanation on why he felt empowered to insult the former First Lady. Over on his X account, Hokett would respond to a series of unfavorable comments about what he would go on to say. No outrage when you say Melania Trump is an escort. No outrage when you say Charlie Kirk brought his death upon himself or Charlie Kirk deserved to die. So,
well, the problem is that the Melania Trump thing is, we know that, let's make it clear. We know, okay, that Michelle Obama is not a man. She's got 2 grown children. So that's excellent proof right there. The fact of the matter is that there's going to be a debate over whether Michelle was, not Michelle, but if Melania was an escort or not, because she hung around a lot of escorts. She hung around a lot of men that hung around a lot of escorts, including her husband. Her husband slept with an escort or a porn star while she was still nursing his newly born child. So there is some debate there. As far as Michelle being a man, there's no debate. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
Kiss my ass, everyone. Now, a part of his responses on X, Hokett would even catch wind of Gillis's comment and would go on to say, "Oh well, to each their own. I still like Shane." Now, continuing on Hokett's X account, he would be met with support and, as expected, more backlash. One user would go on to say, "Still could have just shut the F up. Your act is cringy as F. This isn't the WWE. You made the entire event about you by saying some stupid shit that now overshadows the event and gives the woke something to complain about. Effing dickhead." Now, despite Hokett's attempt to explain why he would call Michelle Obama a man, many users have continued to sound off on why the insult was ever made that night.
Can somebody tell me why all these white men are out here feeling so threatened?
Wow. Okay. I said what I said. Thank you for clearing that up. So Dana White did not donate anything. So that was not accurate. According to Google and Gemini, Dana did not donate to Michelle Obama's foundation, and Josh was paid $4,500 to do the fight.
By Michelle Obama. Oh, it's because they're threatened by a strong, independent, intelligent black woman? Yeah, that's right. I've never seen so many bitch-ass wimps than all these Trumper MAGA men out here. Oh, Michelle Obama is really a man. Is she? Is she? Well, she ain't no man, but I bet she's got a bigger set than you do, because I've not seen a bigger group of pansy bitches than these white Trumper men. They're out here afraid of everything, of everybody, and they have been threatened by Barack and Michelle Obama for decades now at this point, and they are terrified of somebody who shows that they are intelligent, that they are more sophisticated, that they are a better overall person than them, because she happens to be a person of color, and they want to go after her and the Obama name.
She hasn't even held office in like a decade. how could you possibly be thinking about Michelle Obama? That'd be like Jalen Brunson when he won the Finals MVP. He's like, oh yes, I'm so happy to bring the Knicks their first championship in over 50 years. Also, Nancy Reagan was a whore. Thank you, New York.
Calling Michelle Obama a former first lady, a man on live TV on the White House lawn is so insanely fucking disrespectful.
Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
This is not liberal snowflake propaganda. There is a big difference between what this UFC fighter did and a comedian telling an offensive joke. You go to a comedy show understanding that the boundaries are going to be pushed. That is literally their job. In the words of the great late Patrice O'Neal, half the room should be in utter disgust, shock, and hating your guts, and the other half should be dying of laughter. And if this was a regular UFC fight in like Abu Dhabi or some bullshit and he got on the mic and said that, whatever. He's just rage baiting, trying to be controversial, you know, trying to be put on the next title card by Mr. Daddy Dana White. But you were on the White House lawn in an event that was already publicly ostracized because it feels like a circus act, but y'all are saying it represents freedom and everything that's good about America. Okay, cool. They were great fights, yes. But you're on the White House lawn and then you publicly insult a former first lady from 2 administrations ago? For fucking what? Roles reverse. What if the NBA in 8 years and 2 administrations
He's got some good points.
hosts an NBA game on the White House lawn, and then Victor Wembanyama gets on the mic and he says, yeah, well, Melania Trump, she's a dumb cow. That'd be fucked up.
Listen, if you're a black person in America and a citizen of this country, and you support Donald Trump, a man who supports and holds events where a guy can call Michelle Obama a man, and who also depicted the Obamas as monkeys, you are the worst kind of COON. You're the worst kind of COON.
Let me pause that for a minute. That reminds me, do I have a Stephen A. Smith? He said, that remind me, is Stephen A. Smith on here? No, I don't have him on this. I have him on tomorrow's show. But yeah, Stephen A. Smith comes to mind when he says that. So let me keep it going. Here we go.
4 women strongly reacted to Josh Hokett's attack on Michelle Obama, and the last one even insisted on filing a lawsuit against him. The first is Brittany Griner, a WNBA Olympic gold medalist who was previously targeted by Josh Hokett with anti-transgender remarks. She joined Michelle Obama as a victim and filed a civil lawsuit, leading to UFC stripping his fight earnings and imposing heavy financial penalties. The second
I think we can safely say that we have to take this AI conversation, the AI comments with a grain of salt. Definitely, I agree, and I appreciate. I said what I said, Googling some of the statements that come out here because some of them are just straight up not true. Here we go.
Second is Oprah Winfrey, Michelle Obama's longtime friend and women's rights advocate. She said, freedom of speech is not a cover for hate, joined a Hollywood boycott, and helped severely damage his reputation. The third is Sherry Redstone, a major investor behind the live broadcast platform that night. As a woman, she cited the large public backlash and canceled all of Josh Hokett's advertising revenue.
Let me say, Sharon Redstone. Let's check and see if that's true. Okay. Nope. Not canceled. Redstone is a media executive. Yeah. Nope. So it sounds like to me there's a lot of fakeness going on out there. So yeah. So we can't take anything that they're saying. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, that's for tomorrow. Yeah, let's listen to this.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I want to welcome you guys to another episode of Here's What I Think with your host, Charles Sabansi. So let's get into this topic here today. Stephen A. Smith is back at it again. You at this point, man, I don't think any of us should be surprised. I'm still surprised. I won't lie to you. From like a day-to-day basis, I still get surprised, but then some days I'm just like, man, I shouldn't be. But anyway, as you guys know, they just recently held a UFC event at the White House. Let's just say that sentence one more time to realize that actually occurred. They just recently held a UFC match on the White House lawn. And then I think I saw a post this morning where the president said I heard the report that they may keep the lawn, the whatever it is, the structure there.
Wow. And the thing is that you should see an aerial photo of what they did on the White House lawn. It looks weird. I'm being nice. Shout out to Phoenix Soul in the house. Shout out to I Said What I Said and Why I Seek Knowledge in the house. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
Indefinitely. Anyway, so they held this event, which was a disaster, right? The weather was poor. People were getting eaten up by mosquitoes. It was just a mess. And of course, it was the same place where one of those animals that was there, because that's what I'm going to call him, one of those primates that was on there, decided to call former President Barack Obama's wife a man. We don't need to play the video. You guys heard it yesterday. So as everyone was reacting to it, people were going off. Even UFC founder Dana White said this, and I want to put up the comments. He said, I understand that the Obamas are public figures, but I'm completely against saying nasty and false things about people's families. Dana White on Josh Hokett's, whatever this fool's name is, slur targeting Michelle Obama. Then the post said this. UFC CEO Dana White condemns Josh Hockett's nasty comments about Michelle Obama in a statement to Time. Right? So that's what even Dana White said, who, of course, there's video footage of him slapping his wife, right? But anyway, that's a whole different set of issues there. But anyway, so then Stephen A. Smith, they were talking about this yesterday on ESPN First Take. And
I'm gonna pause it right there and get Deontay's input on what we've covered so far, because I guarantee you, when we start speaking about Stephen A. Smith, we're gonna have a lot to say. Welcome to the stage, Deontay. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine, DJ. How you doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Yeah, I just wanted to say this guy, listen to how he said that when he said Michelle Obama is a man, and then he said, am I right, America? Like, as if he was only talking to, you know what I'm saying? Like, America was only these crazed MAGA people, you know?
Right.
Because obviously it's even people who are conservative Republicans who came out and said that they don't agree with that. Because it's a difference between having a difference in politics and how you think things should be ran and things should be organized and money should be allocated. That's politics, right? And then when you get into this whole, I don't even know what they call it, like this whole slime ball, like just ignorance, you know. And it's kind of funny because Donald Trump said one time, he said that he thought business was cutthroat. But he said that ever since he's been in politics, he said politics is 10 times worse than business is. And I believe him when he said that, you know, because everything is so open. You know what I'm saying? Like business is done in the office behind closed doors, and then you get a statement in, you know, the Wall Street Journal when it's over. This stuff is all being done in the open. Like, you feel that emboldened? I guess he did. You got the stage out here on the White House, you know, and you got all these MAGA people. Oh yeah, man, she a man. Am I right, America? Like it's just crazy that he felt comfortable doing that, and now he's seeing his consequences to your ignorant ass actions.
Well said. Well said. Well, let's get into Stephen A. Smith and we'll see what he has to say. Here we go.
Leave it up to Stephen A. Smith, who I think was in attendance. He said, and I kid you not, and we're getting this from Awful Announcing. He said that he was there, and he says he has to be honest. Get this. This UFC event was better than the NBA Finals. The place where they insulted the first black female vice president was better than the NBA Finals. Take a listen to Stephen A. Smith here.
It was a great event that was put forth by the UFC at the White House in concert with the White House or whatever. It did a hell of a job. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I was there, 4,000 seat arena. I gotta be honest, coming off the NBA Finals, where I was at multiple NBA Finals, better event than NBA Finals. Wow, just it was a better event than NBA Finals. But the White House literally being right there, incredible.
Now, this video you just saw was viewed by 3.9 million people. 3.9 million, and of course, people are ripping him to shreds in the comments. Why am I not surprised?
Phoenix Soul. That's bars right there. That's bars.
That Stephen A. Smith made no mention of the grotesque comments that were made about Michelle. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? You mean to tell me during that segment on ESPN, you couldn't find a moment or two to say, look, what was said about former President Michelle Obama was absolutely disgusting. There's no place for that in our society. And that person that said that should be reprimanded from nothing from Stephen A. Smith.
No, because Stephen A. C, I can't say the rest of it, is basically probably, I mean, I'm telling you, there are a lot of self-hating, black men out there. And Stephen A. Smith is like one of the leaders of them. Deontay, what are your thoughts?
I think Stephen A. done showed us who he really is over the last couple of months. He been doing it pretty good for the last few years, but you remember what happened? I think it was just 2 or 3 weeks ago. When they asked Donald Trump about what he thought about Stephen A. And Trump said that Stephen A. could never be the president. He said that he doesn't have the aptitude for it. He said he has very low IQ. He said that Stephen A. couldn't even run for city council. Yeah, he said Stephen A. didn't even have the mindset to be a city councilman, let alone the president. He went in on Stephen A. Yeah, it was crazy. But of course, like Donald Trump, he ended it with, but I like him. He's a nice guy. he gonna say a nice guy after he just destroyed this dude. So so I'm like, wait a minute. So after this dude just dressed you down, just completely tore you apart, a couple weeks later, you gonna still show up to the White? Yeah, because he's tapping, for these for the MAGA. It's not just about being a conservative or he's going hard for the MAGA, because right after Trump said that shit about him, he went on Sean Hannity on Fox News because he wanted to let the MAGA people know, even though Trump just basically insulted him and especially his intelligence, that he wasn't mad at him. Because you know how they are, like that section of white people, like they'll call you a nigger to your face, and if you say, "Oh, I don't like that," they'll be like, "Oh, see, now you're playing the race card." Like, how about playing the race card? You just called me. Yeah, so he didn't want to deal with that, so he came up as quick as he could, like, "Oh no, Sean, it's all good." But yeah, then he goes to the White House and for this event talking about it was beautiful. I'm like, dude, what are you? Yeah, Stephen A. is bug dancing, man.
Man, yeah, like YC Canala says, the Broken Buck Chronicles. What's new? They're hunting for shock value and views. Yep.
Was talking about it was a fantastic event. Now let's look at it from a wider standpoint. It was more exciting than the NBA. Is Stephen A. Smith on drugs? And the part that kills me is that, and I want to get back to that point momentarily. The part that kills me is that you're talking about an event that the president put together who called you low IQ and dumb as a bucket of shrimp, or dumb as a pack of rocks or something.
Yeah.
Who called you a political neophyte? Who said you would get laughed off a political stage? And you're still there kissing his butt. I just don't get it. Why don't these people have any self-respect? And then there was another video of him talking about it on CNN. We did a video about it of him
Or COON. No.
still defending the president after he called him low IQ. But let's get to the part about it being better than the NBA Finals. Stephen A. Smith is not a serious person. For those of you who don't follow sports, let me just put these NBA Finals into perspective for you. The first game that was held in Madison Square Garden, that game nearly generated $600 million for Madison Square Garden. $600 million. We saw record ticket prices to attend that. Record ticket prices to attend that event. That's number one. Number two, it was the most viewed NBA Finals since 1998.
Wow.
Do you know who played in 1998 in the NBA Finals? Michael freaking Jordan. That was the last time we had an average viewership on par with these finals. On par with Michael Jordan's finals in 98.
No, but no, the issue is that they wanted, see, there's black people playing basketball. That's not, they can't have that. They can't have that. That's the problem. That this whole thing, and that's what I've been trying to show, is that, like, when you see people taking shots at Michelle, or taking shots at Megan, or taking shots at Dr. Brian, or taking shots at some were taking shots at Brandy or something like that. They're talking about black people in general. They're talking about black women in general. They're not just talking, they're just using these particular women as, what would you call it, as examples or sacrificial lambs to make a point of bigotry. Because now they can say, well, I was only talking about her. I was only talking about Megan. Megan's the one who's a jump off or whatever, or bump and dump. And it's like, wait a minute. The problem I have is this. They don't talk about women who have double the numbers of bodies, or men that have 10 times the bodies. As they don't portray those people as being, pumps and dumps or 304s or something like that. It's targeted towards a certain, they're targeting black women when they do that. Get this, and it's going to hit you hard. I did some homework at the time that Megan was with Clay. By the way, it was Clay that cheated on Megan, by the way. He was the one being the hoe. Cardi B had been around at least 3 or 4 other men. They never said Cardi B was a jump off. They never said Cardi B was a pump and dump, even though the men she was with and even herself were putting up way more numbers than Megan at least during the same time frame. But we know that that's the irony, and that's the hypocrisy that bothers me, the contradictions that bothers me about these men in this space, is they will show their bigotry, whether they are black, white, or whatever, in full display to other people. All you need to do is listen and look. Kim Kardashian got famous making a corn video. That was her claim to fame. You do not see her getting anywhere near the kind of vitriol and disrespect you see these men giving Michelle Obama, who's been married for like what 30 freaking years or something. I'm getting a headache just talking about it. Yeah, Deontay, if you got any words, feel free to break it down.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to add to that. You know, I was saying before, it's just because they don't look at any of the women outside of the community like that, even if they are super hoes. You know, it's just like Phoenix was saying. She's because look at Daphne Joy, 50 Cent's baby mom. She just had a video that was leaked a while ago, a couple of weeks ago, of her and her and Diddy in a freak off, and it was highly explicit. And she was in that saying some. She's the queen of dirty talk. If you into that, but like it did not happen. It did not turn out the way that I thought it was going to turn out. She's actually capitalizing off of it. She ended up getting like 500,000 more subscribers, followers on her Instagram. She done turned up on her OnlyFans. She doing podcasts everywhere. DJ Academic just did an interview with her, and he was so thirsty. He kept telling her he was gonna send her a bag, like come on money. Like they're not even looking at her like that. But yeah, I agree. If that would have been Meg Thee Stallion or one of them that would have been in a video like that, they'd have been tearing their asses up. You know, so I don't know what it is with that just vitriol that they have for them. It's terrible though. I can't really even speak on it right now.
Yeah, let me. I'm glad you brought up Daphne Joy. Let me bring her up to the stage.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all know me, I'm anti-tricking. But I ain't gonna lie, that's the first time I like talk to a chick. Yo, bro, she's a pro. Like I see why she got 50, Diddy, all of them. Almost got me, like almost like logged into my account and sent her some bread. Like, yo, she make you feel all good inside. If you ugly, she make you feel like you cute. I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all know me, I'm anti-tricking. But I ain't gonna lie, that's the first time I like talk to a chick.
So listen to how glaringly he speaks about, you know, a woman that.
I'm sorry. This guy is not anti-tricking. DJ Academic is a super trick. Every girl he ever had was either an Instagram model or a video vixen. He didn't get them because he was a man. This little 5'7" weird looking dude, man. Listen, hey, this America. You got to go ahead and blow it, man. But just be for real. you know.
Right. Who was who was the other? He slept with the same woman that slept with Cardi B's husband. What was?
Oh, Selena Powell. Yeah.
Selena Powell. They don't. I mean, just think about it. They don't go around to calling Selena Powell a man or whatever. And it's just the do they know how they're exposing themselves for being just low quality men? I mean, I'd like to welcome to the stage. I said what I said. Please give us your 2 cents on this because this is crazy.
Right. Hey, DJ, I came up here to talk about the coon in chief.
Go for it. Break it down to us. Break it down.
I'm so tired of this coon in chief. He's been trying to be relevant for the last decade and a half or so, you know. And so he went on Fox News just to try to, like y'all said, he just went on there to let them know he don't care about Trump talking about him. He just want to be in the fold and he just want to be with them. And, you know, he's doing all his backpedaling and then he's turning flips and somersaults to do, you know, to try to fit into those people's world. And the people don't even like him like that. They don't even accept him. And hard part about it is it's a lot of black people that don't care for him and don't accept him. So I don't know where he's gonna go.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you don't have no community. You already crapped on the community that you were originated from and that you were born from. And you're trying to slip over, you know, you're trying to cross over to the other side. And the way that they're doing things now, you know, they're trying to eliminate us. Okay. Mm-hmm. We're non-factors in their eyesight at this point. And we're going to remain non-factors for the next couple of years. And so I want to see where all of these coon and chiefs gonna go after Agent Itty Pants leave the office. I'm trying to be nice.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. We're like, where y'all coons going in? Because y'all gonna be just like MAGA to everybody else. Just like MAGA family is not accepting them back.
Right.
And how they all in the land of the lost. I guess you're gonna go over there with the defected MAGA people. I guess that's gonna be his crew and his group. But also too, the network that he worked for could be in cahoots with Agent Itty Pants. And
Right.
so if they're in cahoots together, then no, he's not gonna say a word. He can't find no time in his schedule to say anything nice about Michelle Obama or Barack Obama, President Obama.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about it is they're just buzzwords. They know anytime they say anything about Barack Obama, because Agent Orange is so obsessed with him. He want to be President Obama so bad. He can't beat him in anything. He's not smarter than he is. He don't have any swag. He's not good looking like Obama. And Obama approval rating is still like 75-80% all around the world.
What's funny is it's very, very logical that you brought him up, because I just so happen to have, just so everybody knows, it's not just I said what I said that thinks that Trump wants to be like, wants what Obama receives from the world, because I think Barack Obama just opened that beautiful facility. Well, I wouldn't call this facility. This is a building in Chicago. And let me just
it's his presidential library.
And it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yes.
Let's see. Here we go. Let me spin this right here.
I've been wondering for years why Trump is obsessed with Barack Obama. So I decided to do some research on narcissistic obsession to understand what's actually going on here.
Oh, really? Okay. Then you know what's going down then.
Yes, sir.
Trump is-
And I just want to say, y'all excuse me, but I'm trying to catch some allergies, so I'll be out here coughing and blowing my nose, and I apologize for that. I thought I was.
Oh, no, don't even worry about that. I'm glad to have you up on the stage. Here we go.
Tried to reverse every Obama policy he could find, even when those policies were working. He spent years claiming Obama was not born in America with zero evidence. He tried to erase Obama's name from government websites and official records. And every time Trump speaks, he brings up Barack Obama. He literally can't keep Obama's name out of his mouth. Why is Trump so obsessed with Barack Obama? I had to find out. Here are the 5 psychological reasons Trump is absolutely obsessed with Barack Obama.
I love the way this guy broke it down. He broke it down scientific.
1. The mirror. Trump cannot stop comparing himself to Obama. At rallies, in interviews, on social media, Trump brings up Obama's name in every press conference, even when Obama has nothing to do with that press conference. He can't help himself. He is absolutely obsessed with Obama. Heinz Cahoot at the University of Chicago spent his career studying what happens when a person's sense of self is confronted with someone who has everything they believe they deserve but cannot attain themselves. He found that for people who built their identity around a false sense of superiority, while encountering someone genuinely superior, produces a specific and devastating kind of pain. Psychologists call this narcissistic injury. Narcissistic injury is a specific psychological wound a person experiences when confronted with someone who has the qualities, achievements, and admiration they believe they should have. Obama is self-made. Trump inherited everything from his father. Obama is respected across party lines. Trump is defended only by people who need him. Obama speaks in full sentences about complex ideas. Trump clearly cannot speak in full sentences, and he has no idea about complex ideas. Obama is calm.
Oh man, he broke it down.
He said he have no idea.
No idea.
Don't have a clue.
Right. I mean, and that's the one thing I've noticed is that and I'm going to keep this going too, but intellectualists really do respect Obama. They like people who think, and so that's why he will never, the orange man will never be respected as much as Obama in a lot of circles that he wants to be respected in.
And he has no idea about complex ideas. Obama is calm, contained, and at peace with himself in a way that no amount of money or power can manufacture. Every time Trump sees Obama, he sees the proof of everything he is not. He doesn't hate Obama. Trump experiences the most painful thing a narcissist can experience, a mirror that shows him the truth, that they are weak and the person they envy is strong. 2. Envy. Trump does not just want to beat Obama. He wants to be Obama. Roy Baumeister at Florida State University spent decades studying what happens when people with inflated, fragile self-esteem encounter someone who possesses what they believe they deserve. He found that the response was not admiration, and it was not motivation to improve. It was rage.
That's scary to me. That is scary.
Baumeister called this threatened egotism. Threatened egotism is when a person's fragile self-image is destabilized by someone who possesses what they believe should be theirs, and their brain responds with hostility and aggression rather than self-reflection. Trump wanted the Nobel Peace Prize. Obama won a Nobel Peace Prize. Trump wanted to be considered intelligent. Obama taught constitutional law at the University of Chicago. Trump wanted genuine public love. Obama is loved and respected the world over without even trying. Trump has spent his entire life chasing a version of respect that Obama carries effortlessly. And the chasing makes it worse because you cannot chase your way into being someone you're not. And somewhere underneath all that noise, Trump knows that. 3. The coward's move. When a narcissist cannot become the person they envy, there's only one thing left. They try to destroy what they can't have.
Wow. Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. You know, I could say very similar things about that, but let me keep it going. Here we go.
Not because destroying gives them what they want, but because they cannot stand that it exists out of their control. In 2013, psychologist Mitya Bach at the University of Munster published research on how grandiose narcissists respond when admiration-seeking fails. He found that when a narcissist cannot win the admiration they believe they deserve, they shift into a second strategy. Bach called this narcissistic rivalry. Narcissistic rivalry is when a narcissist responds to any perceived status threat by devaluing, attacking, and attempting to destroy the source of the threat rather than compete with it on merit.
That's deep. What do you guys think about that? What do you think? What think about what he's saying so far?
I think he's spitting facts and truths. And it's exactly what's going on. Obama lived rent-free in this dude's head. And they know. Can I just say what I want to say?
Yes, please.
They know Melania was a hoe. And
I mean,
well, you said I could say it.
That's right. That's all me. That's all me.
And they know there's not a spot or blemish on Michelle Obama's record. Okay, this lady's a scholar also. And so there's no way Melania could can't compete or compare to Michelle, and Agent Itty Pants can't compete or compare to Barack Obama. And so and that's all it is. It's just jealousy. That's all this is. It's jealousy. And like this dude said, he really want to be Barack. He wish he had all those accolades that President Obama has. And he wish he had the respect that President Obama has. And he really wish he had the swagger and the body that President Obama has. Because let's just keep it real. Obama is only, 63 and don't look a day over 53?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Trump 80, look like he already in the dirt.
Straight. Man. I can't argue that at all. Here, let me see if I can play this quick clip on Obama real quick.
Barack, you gotta look at me. You told me all those years ago that you couldn't promise me the world, but you could promise me an interesting life. And of course, you outdid yourself and managed to give me both. I know it hasn't always been easy, but there hasn't been a single second through this experience that standing by your side hasn't left me in awe. 8 years in the crucible, and not once did you melt from the heat. Not once did you let it harden you. Instead, you used it to reveal your truest essence, your stubborn optimism and unflinching courage, your dazzling brilliance and unpretentious decency, your ferocious work ethic, and absolutely unshakable moral fiber. And to do it all as a first, and the higher standard that comes with all that, the claims that a US senator and constitutional law expert wasn't qualified for the job, the lies about your birthright, your faith, your patriotism, the outrage when you stated the biological fact that if you'd had a son, that he too would be Black. Yet, you were unflappable at every turn, always focused, always calm, always looking at the long view. How absurd it is to even imagine that you might have buckled under the pressure even once, lashed out in frustration, lost your temper. How absurd it is to imagine that you might have done anything but make our family and this entire country proud. Barack.
Thoughts, everybody. Give me your thoughts on this.
Baby, that's how you stand by your man, okay? And he about to cry.
Yeah.
He doing all those faces because he about to cry because it's just such a sweet sentiment. And she's absolutely right. And she's been waiting to say this for a while. She's been waiting to say this for a while. And so now that they're out of the White House, she can speak freely. And baby, she's holding no bars, okay? She is she's shooting her slugs. And I feel like all the things that everybody been saying about him. So she's just letting them know this ain't who my man is. Okay. Y'all got my man all mixed up. And so have we ever seen the ex Epstein? Have we seen the ex Epstein first lady say anything like that about her man? She don't even want to hold his. She don't even want to hold his damn hand. Let's not say some nice words about him.
Yeah, let me see.
And when she do,
Yeah, why
speak, you can't understand her.
why did you?
Huh?
Why seeking knowledge said you cut it off early. It's I can't play the whole thing. It's a 20-minute speech. I think it's a 20-minute speech. Let me wait. Okay, let me see. Let me put this on.
Wow. Hello, everyone. And what a beautiful day, right? Nothing like a project by my husband to bring out the sun. Let me start by thanking Addison for that magnificent introduction and for exemplifying the heart, excellence, and determination that has blossomed right here on the South Side for a very long time. I also want to send some love to everyone who made this day a reality. The construction workers, landscapers, designers, the architects, artists, chefs, our staff, our board members, our donors. Barack and I simply cannot thank you enough for the care and brilliance you poured into every square inch of this campus. I also want to recognize all of the elected officials and distinguished leaders from around the city, the state, the country, and yes, the world. Thank you for being here to celebrate with us, especially to all of my—
She is a beautiful speaker. She competes very well with also George Lucas's wife, who also happens to be Black. She's a beautiful speaker, so much so that George Lucas has her give the speeches that he wants to give. So I might bring her up as well, but let's keep it going here.
Formers, to Joe and Jill, George and Laura, Bill and Hillary. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your service to our country over so many years. And for your constant friendship and support of our family. We love you guys, truly. Oh, to our daughters, Malia and Sasha, who will always be my babies. Even though we're no longer playing hide and seek on the South Lawn with Bo or hosting sleepovers in the solarium. I see a lot of some sleepover girls here. You both have grown into such brilliant and beautiful young women, making your way out there in the world. Thank you for bringing so much joy and spirit and energy to a life you had no voice in choosing, and for making us proud every step of the way. Love you, babe. Oh, so please indulge me for a moment, because I'm gonna take a little time to do something that I know my husband will not do today, and that is to fully sing his praises.
I mean, look at all the presidents that went to this event. This is just like
all the living presidents.
Yeah, Bill and Hillary, especially Hillary, she looks like she hiding in public. But
Yeah,
no,
I was like
yeah,
you, Deontay. I'm like, what the hell do Hillary have on?
it's like she hiding in public. But you know what though? Notice that George Bush and his wife are there, and I know that they have a good relationship. The Obamas and the Bush, family. And George Bush is feeling like the man right now. We talked about this before, because as much as he got, crapped on and shitted on for his administration, like he looking like Pope John Paul II compared to Trump right now. So he has for real. That's how he's feeling. But yeah, Michelle, I'm glad that she did what she did though, and which we're going to see, because this needs to be said, and it needs to come from. I mean, like you said, he wasn't going to say it, because that's the kind of guy that Barack is, and I do believe that because he was the first Black president, that he is he has to deal with kind of like the Jackie Robinson syndrome, where they didn't want Jackie to be out there going hard against the people who were going hard against him, So Barack really couldn't go off. Like you see Trump don't care. He'd call people stupid to their face. He don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying?
He called Barack Obama SOB this week.
Yeah, I mean, he has said so much not like crazy shit about even his own people, So Barack can't go off like that. I mean, you see what happened with Michelle? If Michelle say one thing about anybody, that even if it's the truth, they want to, oh, she an angry Black woman. That's why they keep trying to talk about she a man or whatever, because they really just insulting all Black women. Because when they say the whole angry Black woman thing, what they're really trying to say is that Black women are masculine. They're like men. It's like that thing that they tried to put on Serena and her sister Venus, and especially Serena when she came out that bad boy toned up, and And just a quick little side note, I always thought that was hilarious though, because black men, we never looked at Serena like that. We always looked at her like she was bad as hell, and she is. She's beautiful, you know. But anyway, going back to this situation, it is good to see that they can all get together. And see, this is what Trump is pissed about right here. Because he knows once he gets out of office, he's not going to be invited to this presidential, you know, former president club. I mean, he's going to be able to go to the little funerals and stuff when that happens. But when stuff like this happens, man, they're not inviting this dude. Like,
Right.
we don't want him there. He's not a part of it, and he went through this his whole life actually. Because even when he was in the business world growing up, a lot of these people on Wall Street and these bankers and investors and real estate, they didn't like Donald Trump. They didn't like his dad, you know. So he always was like the outcast in that situation, and he got made it 100 times worse for himself. So yeah, he probably was at home watching this, just as they say, punch in the air.
Well, that's why he was acting up this week. You know, he been showing that all week because he been talking about Obama all week because he already knew this day was coming. He knew June 19th was coming, which he tried to get rid of that, and he knew that this library was going to be opened up, and he just don't want Obama to get no attention, and he wants to be the center of attention, but instead he go over there and make a deal worse than what Obama had with this Iran deal that he's supposed to have or what have you. And so Obama outshine him again. It is like everything he touched turns to crap, and everything Obama touched turns to gold, and he can't handle that. And Deontay, you said they're talking about all black women. They're jealous of black women. They're jealous of black people, period. Because at the end of the day, we don't even be concerned about them until we have to deal with them in the law system. Other than that, we're not worried about them. We have to go work their jobs or what have you, but we do what we have to do because we got to make do, and we know we don't own anything, so we have to go to those to go work for them or what have you. But we don't. There's not. I don't know anybody black that want to change places to be other than Coon and Chief and a few other ones, except for the Coon and Chief and his little followers. Most black people are happy being black. We're happy with our culture. They don't like our culture. They don't understand us, and they're jealous of us. And they know that we're actually the chosen people of God at the end of the day. And they can't take it. They can't stand it. And so that's why they're trying to eliminate us and make us non-factors. It's because they really want to be us. And we invented almost everything in America. We invented a whole bunch of stuff, and they used to just take our inventions, patent it, put their name on it, and it's theirs. And they've been doing this for centuries. But Trump is so jealous of Obama. I'm telling you, Obama just live rent free in his head, and everything go wrong, it's Obama or Biden's fault. Now, Deontay, I don't know if you've seen the whole speech or not, but did you check out when Bill Clinton's hands was shaking like he got Parkinson? And I'm sitting there looking at him, and I'm looking at Joe Biden, and Joe Biden is older than Bill Clinton, but Bill Clinton is acting older than Joe Biden. Now, they were saying that Joe Biden was so old and he couldn't do the job or what have you, but it seemed like the job was getting done just fine with me. Maybe because I'm a little biased, because I'm a Democrat or what have you, but the country ran just fine, and we really could. Yeah, people were struggling a little bit, but people really getting ready to struggle after this month, because that big beautiful that big bullshit bill just is gonna go into effect on July 2nd, and that's when it's really gonna hit home for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And see, I think that Biden's last year or two in office was pretty much the same thing that had happened with Ronald Reagan's last 2 years, where it was more like they were because they were kind of like just putting him out there. He was just doing for show. I don't know if he was actually making all the decisions. It was probably his team that was doing it. Just because, we all saw what happened at that debate, and they were lying to us going into that for pretty much that whole 2020. Joe Scarborough, was it Joe Scarborough? No, not Joe Scarborough. Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
Horn and Joe.
it was Joe Scarborough. He said, you know, Joe always try to have a personal relationship with everybody he can in Washington. So
Yeah, he was. I was just talking with Joe last week, and he was sharp as a tack. And then, like a month later, this dude freezes.
but he had a cold though. He had a
Yeah,
cold. And when you have a cold and you old, it do knock
yeah.
you off your game.
Oh no, don't worry. I'm not trying to bash or not Biden. That whole thing is. I understand what happened during that time. I really just felt bad for they showing it right there, Kamala, because I didn't really like her that much to be running, but I did feel bad for her just objectively because she didn't get a chance to.
Yeah.
Biden could have stepped down, you know, and just let her run. It would have been more fair. Like maybe they would have had a better plan, you know, because they tried to just throw it together with what 2-3 months, you know. But anyway, just going back to Michelle and I mean the Trump situation. The guy we were watching when he was calling Donald Trump a narcissist and everything, he was saying it was called. What did he say? It was called ego injury or whatever.
Narcissistic injury. He said.
Yeah, narcissistic injury. Yeah, that's just a fancy way of saying he was hating. Because like when you hating on somebody, what that really means, you like the most fierce haters ever are people who feel like they can do something just as good as you, better than you, or almost as good as you, but they're not doing it. And it's not your fault that they're not doing it. They're really mad at themselves. That's what it is. Donald Trump, now, ain't nothing you can do about being handsome, right? That's just something that's natural. But outside of that, though, Donald Trump could be smarter. He could speak better. He could be in better shape. He could have all of that. He could be more well liked. But that's not the route he took. So when he ran into somebody who did have all of that, he was intimidated by it. So when somebody's intimidated by something, they either, if they're an introvert, they're usually going to be quiet, curl up and hide. Or if they're an outrovert, especially if they're an alpha male type person like Trump, they just going to attack. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they do. When they in fear or intimidated, they just attack and act like they're above all of this, and the person that they're intimidated by or jealous of is just a low on the scale. But like you keep saying, you're really thinking about this person 24/7. Like, and you can't get them out your head. You're always being compared to them. And this Epstein thing has to be really killing Trump too, because like this is hanging over you. You just saw the leaks are coming out about how they were trying to cover this up. What's the boy's name? Vance just went on I don't know why he did that. He just went on the View and got like destroyed by Whoopi Goldberg, and he really made it worse for himself. And it's like, these files are going to eventually leak, and Barack and his wife are going to be sitting back, and they're going to be having the last laugh because it's all about to come out for this guy.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And I feel like Iran probably told him they finna put some stuff out because they got great hackers, right? And so they got great, all countries have great intelligence, great hackers, everybody that can get into these computers. And I guarantee you, Iran probably done told them we got these files. So keep playing around if you want to. And so I just don't think he want those files out like that. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to I want to be you and I can't be, like you said. I can't be you, so I'm gonna, it's the latch out because that's his personality. But I really feel like, to me, this dude he tried to impress his father. If you know his history, he wanted to impress his daddy. And it's like he's still trying to impress his daddy, even though his daddy is gone. Trump is the type of person that don't move on. He like to live in the past and nostalgia. And you can tell by all that old tacky gold crap he got at the White House. He's just infatuated with gold. And, the rest of America have moved on to the gray colors and white. Those are the colors now. But Trump is still stuck on gold. Okay. And so to me, when you can tell when people don't grow, to me, he's still stuck in a child-like mentality with the things that he does, because everything he does is smoke and mirrors, BS, and fakery. It's all just to make it look good. It don't have to be good, but just make it look good. Just like accusations. He'll throw an accusation out there, or he'll throw a lie out there knowing that it's a lie. And then he never apologized for the lie. He just move on to another lie.
Yeah, Trump doesn't have he had, I forgot what it was called. He's got these three things, like, but one of them is never admit defeat.
Part of the deal.
Yeah, like even if you getting your ass whooped and you down 100 to -20, you just getting blown out the water, you never admit defeat. You know, like that's his thing. Always put that front up. But it doesn't work when you cry wolf. It's like with this Iran deal he just had. Like nobody believed this shit, like until the Iranian leaders came out and said it was real. I mean, and you know what? The last 3 times it was like that, because this was what, the 6th or 7th time that Donald Trump told everybody that the deal that they made, right?
It's been about the 30th time. He's been saying that. He's been saying that for a whole month.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me spin a little bit here. Let me.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Giving them back the money. I would have said the money is off the table. Let's start negotiating. And you know what?
We can't continue to make deals like that horrible Iran deal where we give them $150 billion back.
The Iran deal was so bad.
Notice how he said $150 billion back because it was their own money. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
We paid $150 billion to sign a horrible agreement.
No, I didn't want. This is basically what happens. So Trump, to the $150 billion that belonged to him, right, made a deal to give them $300 billion back.
And they didn't even, Barack didn't even give him 150 billion. He only gave him back the money from, remember, well, I don't know, well, you might remember.
It was seized money.
It was seized money. And remember, we sold them some arms that we never gave them. We sold them some weapons, took their money, and never gave them the weapon. So that's what Obama did. He was trying to make a wrong right, is basically what he was trying to do.
Right.
And money that we had sanctioned, he gave them back their own money. So Barack didn't give them anything. But Trump is giving them something because we don't owe him nothing no more because of Barack Obama. So all of this that he's going to give out, he's just giving it to him.
That's bars. Exactly. Let me see if I can find. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of intricacies with this stuff, man, because it's like Barack, and I'm not going to get too deep into it. I'll just say this part right here. Barack avoided going to war with Iran completely. It wasn't even on the table for real. And Israel wanted to do it. They've been wanting to bang with these people for decades, right? So Barack wouldn't do it. None of the other presidents would really do it. But they got Trump to do it for whatever reason they did. And I guess, you guys seen the other day, it came out that Trump told Netanyahu that he was what did he call him? He said he was a fucking idiot or some shit like that on the phone call.
Yeah, he called him an effing idiot.
Yeah, he called him an effing idiot. Yeah, so that got out. Because Trump know what's really going on with this dude, but you done sit up here and gave this dude $300 billion. And if Trump is smart, I don't think, it's not going to really make a difference to anybody. But at least he can have a halfway excuse to why it was that much money. He can at least blame it on inflation. Like if you take it back, well, this was 16 years ago, it would only been $100 billion. Like you can at least do that, but
what? Let me interject something, and then you can keep going. You know what what we're not adding in there is the cost of the war.
Mm-hmm.
That Obama didn't go to war with Iran, so all that billions of dollars that we spent I mean, the equipment that was being, the planes, the ships that were damaged, the planes that were crashed,
The
all that
drones
equipment
that we don't have no more. They say it's gonna take 2 years to replenish the drones and the weaponry that we use for this war.
Yeah.
So we're vulnerable now. Security risk.
Yeah, and bars. Let me shut up because y'all are speaking facts. Go for it.
Well, I was just saying, you know, what this did was really it showed everybody in the world, which the world already knew this. So I just think Americans just didn't really know, especially these crazy, hardcore MAGA people didn't know this. We are not as advanced, sophisticated, as powerful as people think. I mean, we are compared. It's over 200 countries in the world, right? So yeah, we definitely in the top. I'll say at worst 3. At best, we number 1 or 2. But honestly, China's been over us at least 15 years now. Probably since 2010. So I'll say 16 years. They've been over us since 2010 in every way, and they keep advancing. They going hard. And the Russians, they don't fuck with the Europeans or Americans. If you go ask a Russian that they're European, they'll tell you that they're Russian. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what they say. And they are, you know, they're creating alliances with the African nations, the Russians, the Chinese people. So you see what the world is starting to form into, and they just took a good view of this war that happened, and they said, "Oh, well, little old Iran is holding their own over there." You know what I'm saying? And they don't give a shit. Like the Iranian leadership and their people, they was ready to go all the way to the edge for this. It's like that game of chicken. Y'all heading at each other at 100 miles an hour. Who gonna swerve first? Iran wasn't gonna swerve. They was gonna crash out. And Trump was like, "Hey man, I can't crash out." And that Yahoo, see, he was in the car behind Trump's car.
But Trump don't have authority either, though, Deontay. He had to end it because Congress won't grant him permission to do this war. Remember, they just had a vote a couple weeks ago and they voted it down. The House voted it in, but the Senate voted no. You can't go to war, sir.
He even has and he doesn't have enough Republicans on his side that's going with it. I mean, it's obvious. You've seen what happened with Marjorie Taylor, she was his number 1 cheerleader. She was doing triple backflips on the football field for him. You know, like. And then, you know, all of his top commentators, like except for the Fox News people, of course, but shit, ain't nobody on Fox News except for Hannity got the following that Candace got or Tucker and actually Megyn Kelly is actually the 3rd. She got the lowest one of all of them.
Right.
Even Ben Shapiro, which Ben never liked Trump. He only liked Trump now because Ben is a Zionist. He all about Israel, so he wants this war to happen. But either way, though, Trump knew this wasn't going to work no more. So I don't know what they had over him that made him go into this. But he decided he can't do it.
Let me help you out with it. The whole it's all about the Benjamins. His Don Jr. is invested in a drone company that has a contract that's doing this war. Okay. So everybody has gotten paid now. Trump is bored and he you know, allegedly, and in my mind and in my opinion, his ass got ADHD or something to that effect, and he can't focus long enough on one thing to get it settled or to even see it through. And that's another thing that Barack Obama has over him. Barack Obama is measured. He's a thinker. He's intellectual. And Trump is none of those things. Trump will launch some crap, throw some crap at you, and then tell you that the crap tastes good and move on to the next pile of crap. And that's just who he is. It's all about the Benjamins and it's all about the money. And everybody has gotten paid now. So now it's time to shut this war down. Even Iran got paid out of the deal. Iran got a gift that they didn't even know they was going to get.
Iran, I mean, with the exception of the civilians and infrastructure
Yeah.
that has,
Well,
they
well,
actually came out and
I'm talking
classified
about
it.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about their standing in the world, because
Well,
now
I agree with you.
they control the Hormuz Straits. Now they can charge tolls for it and shut it down anytime that they want to. They didn't have that power before this one.
And they done got so much respect. That's what I was saying earlier. Like the people are looking. I mean, even the American citizens with their little Lego trolling videos they were sending over. Like people were watching them by hundreds of thousands each one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched a few of them and I'm like, damn, these people is like going hard. You know what I'm saying? And this shit is actually funny, but it's not just funny. They're telling the truth. Like, they were like literally talking directly to the American people. I mean, it was actually really
Specifically your cousin them, because
Yeah.
they put us on there a lot. Hey, this is for y'all. They just put a new one out this week for us.
Yeah,
So they definitely let us know that they was rolling with us. And the ironic part of all of this, Deontay, Iran ran circles over Jimmy Carter in the 70s. They tortured him on TV every day with them hostages. They had those people all blindfolded, looking hungry, beat up, and everything. And then they would put him on the TV and taunt Jimmy Carter every day while they had those hostages, right? And so for Agent Orange to he said he wanted to make America great again, which take us back. He just took us back to the 70s with this deal that he made.
Yeah.
In my
But
opinion.
you know something? It just I'm glad that it turned out this way, because number one is fair. I mean, he bombed the heck out of Iran for really no reason. They weren't doing anything. They were just minding their own business. And I'll tell you one thing. Everybody better hope Iran gets their oil production back up, because what's going to happen is that as long as it's down, the price of oil is going to stay up, because remember now, whoever Iran was selling it to was getting it from the source that we are getting it from, if you know what I mean. Because, they got to buy oil. You see what I'm saying? So basically what's going to happen is that, to me, Trump actually is completely at fault for the price of a lot of things, but basically oil, because remember, Iran was a major resource. Iran was a major resource with Saudi Arabia and a lot of the other places. So if that's shut down, it's the old business of demand and supply and demand. Well, we just cut down the supply for a demand that stayed the same, right? So that means that we will have to pay more for oil until there's more supply available. And that's the dumbest thing of all. If you wanted to bomb, their drone factories and all that kind of stuff, that's one thing. But he went and bombed supply for the world. So now, whoever Iran's competition was for that oil, for oil sales, well, they can charge whatever they want now. They can charge whatever they want, because
he's used up our reserves.
Right.
We're at half capacity. So guess who's getting ready to go into what do you call that? Gas shortage. We may be, I predict, and I could be wrong, but if this stuff don't turn around, I predict by the time the winter hit, we're gonna be in a gas shortage, and you're gonna have to fill your cars up on a certain day based on your license plate number or
Mhm.
what have you. And that's how they had to do in the 70s, because and that's why I said he taking us back to the 70s. And I feel like because in the 70s we had a gas shortage. I don't know if you remember that or not, DJ Torch.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah, I know. We probably was real little bitty kids, and because we was we was real little. We was under 10 in the 70s, or just turning 10.
Yep.
But I do remember the gas shortages. I remember those sausages on TV, and I remember how Carter used to get up there and try to make everything better. Of course, I wasn't paying attention like that, but I saw a lot of that stuff that was going on. I remember Marvin Gaye and all of those people making songs about Vietnam. So I
Yeah,
remember the
what's
70s
going
pretty
on?
well.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
one of my
all of
favorite
that was
songs.
going on. And don't you feel like you don't feel like we're in the 70s again? Or we treading towards that way? Because remember, a lot of people didn't have no jobs. Gas was a shortage. People were struggling. And we had the war going on with the Vietnam people. They were protesting, and it just seems like America is like going backwards instead of going forward. And like Deontay said, America lives on nostalgia. We're on nostalgia because we did used to be the superpower, but no longer. We're no longer the superpower.
If we were, then others would have joined in on that war. But you saw that not one other superpower joined in. They said, hell no, we ain't gonna go. They said,
but they know they know he been trying to do this, that BB been trying to do this for the last 40 years, and all the other countries know that. And like Deontay said, you the only food that went to war with BB Netanyahu. Nobody else would take that bait.
No, and the thing is with the superpower situation is that at one point America was the only real superpower. Then the Russians came up, but now you have at least two other. See, superpowers used to just be your economic power and then your military power, and really, if you had both, that's what made you a superpower. Just one or the other one made you one of the best, but not both, but not the superpower. But now you've got China. China is number one. They on top. They doing their thing, and they just don't advertise that over here. Obviously, why would Americans tell Americans that somebody's bigger than them? But with this oil situation, and I just wanted to give you a little sidebar real quick, like. So I trade natural gas and crude oil futures, right? That shit been going during this whole war, to be for real. Like it's been going. It's crazy how these wars actually make so much money for people, whether it's weapons or usually it's weapons, or it could be stuff you don't even think of, like bath towels and stuff like that, because they gotta ship those off, and people are like Procter and Gamble, they got to send all of this food and dried food and stuff for the military. People invest in that. It's crazy. So it's like you were saying, DJ, about Donald Trump's sons with the drones and the weapons companies and everything. That they make money off of this stuff, But yeah, it's going to take a while for the gas prices to actually go down, or at least normalize to where they were. But also, these companies are going to use that as an excuse to keep that shit marked up. So even when it goes down, it's never going to return to where it was before the war. Like whatever the average national gas price was 12 months ago or 6 months ago, it's never going to hit that. They can blame inflation and all this other bullshit, but what they're really saying is that because these prices were so high because of what happened with the Strait of Hormuz and the war and all this other stuff, we're going to bring it down, but we're going to keep it above. It's called a higher high and a higher low. That's what they're keeping that shit at. And the direct competition of Iran when it comes to oil, especially in the area that they're in, is the UAE. That's who they were bombing. They were bombing the shit out of Abu Dhabi and Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, because they are a ally of America, or at least they have a great partnership with each other. And but China gets their oil strictly from Iran. So so that's their people. So the whole thing was just a giant chess game, and Trump got fucking checkmated. Or I ain't gonna say he got checkmated. I say that right before he saw the checkmate coming, and he took a draw. But usually the person who asks for the draw is the loser. That's the way you look at it. A draw means y'all both decide to end it, nobody wins, but somebody has to request it first. And the person who requested is looked at as like, oh, you couldn't handle it. And the other person just say, okay, go ahead. Like it's not a win for me, but it's not a loss either. It's more of a loss for you.
Well, our social media said he lost, so I don't know, but the people say the people say we lost, so I don't know, you know. But at the end of the day, Deontay, I'm telling you, everybody got paid, and you heard him say last week, "I love inflation." Of course, you love inflation because see, there are winners and losers when you have inflation and when you have war. The common everyday person is going to lose during high inflation. But if you're an investor and I lost my house, and you can just come whip it up for half the for half the price because the market done went down, okay, and the interest rates are up high. It's always winners and losers, and the billionaires are the ones who's gonna win. The millionaires and billionaires, they're gonna win because they're gonna take advantage of everybody else's devastation. Unfortunately.
Well said. What I agree 100%. You're right. Let me play a little bit more of Michelle's speech, and then I'll let you guys finish it off. Here we go.
Exhibit and pass on. Every single day, millions of people in this country wake up doing their very best to live decent and purposeful lives. Yeah, we're all tested in one way or another. And there are plenty of times we all fall short. But deep down in our hearts and souls, we all know right from wrong.
Bars. Like to kick a shout out to Wisdom Ain't Cheap in the house. And I want to make sure that everybody, please support Wisdom Ain't Cheap, and please support I Said What I Said's channel. Phoenix Soul is a excellent singer, beautiful voice. Please support her as well. And why is seeking knowledge? Seeking knowledge and has knowledge. I will tell you that. So go ahead and chop it up. How would you guys want to finish this off tonight?
Well, DJ, I didn't know what you were going to do tonight, and you know Jay-Z, my guy, right? But I had to, I wanted to say that situation that he got, that deal that he did with Target. I don't know if you've seen that, but
let me pause you for 1 second. You read my mind, doggone it. You read my mind. Let's go over it real quick.
He absolutely is coming for Jay-Z's neck. And as far back as I can remember, nobody in Hollywood has ever come at Jay-Z like this. I would like to point out that DL is not a rapper. He's not part of the music industry. This is not rap beef.
I just got bummed out. Hold on one second.
Yeah, I'm
Hold on
about to
one
say,
second.
did you clock out with that? Yeah.
Yeah,
I just got
me
bumped
and
out of my
Deontay
own
just in
show.
here.
I just got bummed out of my. I was like, what? Okay, wait. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay.
DL Hughley is coming for Jay-Z's neck. And as far back as I can remember, nobody in Hollywood has ever come at Jay-Z like this. I would like to point out that DL is not a rapper. He's not part of the music industry. This is not rap beef. DL is a comedian. DL is part of Hollywood, part of the kings of comedy. And more importantly, DL is part of the Democratic Party. The same Democratic Party that uses Jay-Z to get black votes. DL Hughley is sending a message to Hollywood and the Democratic Party. He wants Jay-Z blackballed. On day one of the Jay-Z backlash, I gave you my opinions.
Okay. What's going on with Target? What happened? I don't know. I don't know how I missed it. What did Target do?
So basically, back in 2020, when the George Floyd riots were going on, Target volunteered, by the way. They didn't have to do it. They would have just had to flip up and just kept being Target. They'd have been cool. But they decided to step up and volunteer that they were going to, they had a huge campaign saying that they were going to give $2 billion to black, basically, charities and businesses and just to the black community, right? And that they were also going to do DEI hires and make sure that they make it a point to hire more black people. And what was the other thing that they were going? Oh, they were also going to make sure that they had black small businesses, make sure that they were going to be able to have their products put on their shelves, Targets around the country. And black people was like, cool, that's what's up. And then they never did none of it. And then when Trump came out and said that DEI was we can't have it anymore, and they used that as an excuse to not give the $2 billion, to not do the DEI hires, and they actually cut a lot of their. They still have black businesses that they keep in their stores, right? But they end up cutting instead of adding more. They end up cutting more. So they completely walked back on it. But they did get the advantage, the momentary advantage of telling black people that they were going to do all of this. So black people were like, cool, we love Target. Because, we all look at Target like an advanced version of Walmart, basically, right? So that's what happened. So black people decided to boycott Target, and it worked. It's still black people that shop at Target, right? But not, the numbers were enough to where it meant something. And they tried over the last basically 4 to 5 years to get that to reverse, and they couldn't. They tried all kind of ways. They even had a pastor, a mega church pastor. I don't know if they paid him or whatever, but he came out and said the boycott is over. Target is doing this, and within a week of him making that announcement,
That was Jamal Bryant. Wasn't that Jamal Bryant coming out trying to tell us to go back to Target?
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been him. Yeah, but I remember he came out. I saw the video a few times actually. I just didn't know who he was, but he came out and said, "Oh yeah, the boycott is over. We back at Target. They doing what they said they was gonna do." And it wasn't even a week after he said that he came back and apologized to black people because they was like, "No." And now all of a sudden, Jay-Z is doing his 30th anniversary album, the vinyl. He's only releasing it at Target. He did a deal with them. And Yolanda, why she acknowledged, she said it perfect. I believe that he's in the same situation that Oprah was in when she did that Michael Jackson Escaping Neverland, whatever the fuck documentary, right? Like, there's no way that Oprah was just sitting there chilling, and all of a sudden these dudes come out the blue who said that Michael never touched them for over 20 years, and now they want to sue his estate for $2 billion and make this documentary about him, and then she wants to be the one to promote it, and then she wants to be the one to co-sign it and endorse it. And at the end of the whole thing, she said, "And I believe you guys." Like, what? And now all of a sudden Jay-Z's doing the same shit. where he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going back Target," and then he just did the thing with the NFL 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago with Colin Kaepernick. So it's like I don't believe in that 3 times a charm shit. I believe in 1 time. That's all I need to do. 2 times is the pattern to be done. After 2 times, I don't need a 3rd time. So this is the 2nd time for Jigga Man. So it's like it's the weirdest thing, man, because Jay-Z always talking about how I'm telling the truth in my songs, and if you want to know about how to be, whatever like me, listen to my music. And I believe him when he say that because he does say some real shit in his songs. And one of the things he said, he had a song with Drake back in 2010 called "Light It Up," and at the end of the verse, Jay-Z said, "Fuck niggas, bitches too. All I need is this money, and that'll do." And that's exactly what it look like now.
And he meant it.
That part. And
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, Deontay, because I was getting ready. I was waiting on you to finish so I can explain to you what Jay-Z is doing. They're trying to use him as a token, okay, to get people to come back to shop with them, because like you said, the numbers ain't numbering no more. The money ain't moneying no more. People still haven't went back to Target. And I do remember it was Jamal Bryant, because I spoke about it on I spoke about it on our show, and I was like, how the hell he gonna tell somebody where to go shop at? He need to go. I was like, he need to tell his wife to go find her a nice dress, because that's when that dress came out. Around that time, when she wore that see-through dress, and I remember discussing it on our show. So it was Jamal Bryant trying to get us back at Target, but now they got a new. So don't hate the game. Don't hate the players. Hate the game, because Jay-Z is about his coins, his money. He got a lot of followers. So and I'm sorry, but white people are so stupid when it comes to black people. They think if they get a token celebrity or star to say something or do something, that's just gonna make us move and jump.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna make us carry out whatever will that they have, or whatever it is that they're trying to get us to do. They think a celebrity would help them out, and they think a celebrity can persuade us to listen to them. But everybody know who Jay-Z is. Deontay just gave us a whole biography, a nice biography of what's going on with him for the last decade. And so at the end of the day, it's not gonna work. And who got a damn record player to play his vinyl? I mean, is it a CD? Or like what is it? Cause
no, it's a straight up vinyl record.
Who even got a record player or a CD player to play this mess?
Yeah, it's a weird. Why I ain't gonna call it weird? It's like this retro thing that's going on. Like my sister so basically, you remember like the old rotary phones from back in the day, right? We had to spin the little rotary round. They have these things now where you could actually buy a rotary phone and plug your cell phone into it, and you can actually use the rotary phone and spin the little thing and then dial on your phone and talk on it. And people are doing that. So I think it's just a little retro thing. But the point of the whole, I mean, I understand what he's doing with the vinyl album, right? It's just that doing it exclusively with Target. Come on now, Jigga Man. That's why I was like, okay, either he
but
really
but it ain't but 2 people selling records. Target and Walmart, ain't it? I think Walmart has some vinyls if I'm remembering correctly, but it's not that many stores that he could go to at this point, though.
Yeah, no, it's not. But you know what it is too, though. What it is this was, but see, this was aimed at them, though.
Yeah.
You know what they were? I heard people saying this, and I didn't even think about it. When I heard it, I agreed. He could have actually set this up to where it was only being sold at black stores, and because white people, they love Jay-Z. Especially these liberal white people, they love hip hop culture. They will do. Yeah. They would have
went there. Yeah.
Yeah. They would have went to a black store so fast. And this is what I was getting at a second ago when I was saying this is a good thing. I'm not talking about with Jay-Z. I'm talking about with the boycott of Target, right? It's not. I'm gonna use one of Jay-Z's words when he said we was past kneeling, right? I'm gonna say this: we passed boycotting. This is what I mean by that. It's not about boycotting the store or a company to show them if y'all don't make concessions for us, we're not gonna shop there. It's about shopping within our own community. Did you see what's going on with these Asian boycotts? Like the
And I
black
love
nail
that for
shop?
them.
Yes.
That's good. That's good because black women need to wear their own hair any way, and that mess is giving them cancer. Some of that hair is giving people cancer, and I've never really trusted them like that anyway because they don't have the same. And hell, I don't know if that's even saying anything these days, but they don't have a FDA like we have. You know, a lot of times they got to recall toys and stuff back to China because they're not safe. So they don't have the same inspections, FDA requirement. They don't have they don't have to dot the I's and cross the T's. They can sell their people whatever they want to sell them because, you know, the government own everything there. But here, you know, it's different. You know, you got to dot the I's and cross the T's. And so I'm glad about this boycott, and I really, you know, I just think black people need to start going back. You know, it was okay in the 70s to have your hair and to have your real fingernails and your real eyebrows and your real eyelashes, and they were wearing lashes in the 70s, but not to the extent of how we wearing them now, and everybody wasn't in that. So that's fine with me. We don't never have to go back over there and shop. And I know the Asian community is that they're paying big time for this, and they're really pissed because if you go get your feet done and your nails done, you know that could be $100 plus, and that's for basic. And if you get a design, you know you're spending that almost $200 at those places. So yes, they're gonna cry and they're gonna be upset, and a lot of them only have like the one little store. They got a little store in the neighborhood. So I guess that, you know, I guess they're suffering also because people may just, you know, walk a little further and go to the other corner store versus their store.
And this is the beginning of what we need. It's happening. So it's not going to happen overnight or over a week. It was what's that phrase? It took me 10 years to become an overnight success. When you hear people say that, what they mean, I mean, it's as obvious as the statement is, right? Somebody will seem like an overnight success because you didn't know the work that they were doing. You didn't even know about them until they just popped up. And then you be like, oh, who's this just popped up? How did they all of a sudden start doing this? And then you do a deep dive on them, like, oh, shit, they've been doing this for decades. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember this example of Viola Davis. When Viola Davis blew up big in Hollywood about 10 years ago. And I remember people talking about, I said, I remember seeing her on Law and Order. She used to be like one of the lawyers on Law and Order SVU. And then I went and I was like, oh shit, she been acting since the damn 90s, since like the early 90s. Yeah. Like sometimes it takes a while, but you gotta keep pushing. And we are at the point now where we pushing and it's starting to get noticed. Like where we are seeing each other. This is one of the positive things of social media, right? Where we can actually see all over this ain't just in one or two parts of America. All over the country, people are not going to Asian stores, restaurants, the nail and hair shops. Then you got all these black women all over the country who own their own nail and hair shops. Well, not like just hair, because only black people can do black people's hair, right? But I'm talking about like, you know, the beauty stores is what I'm saying. But especially the nail shops, though, they are full, you know, and the Asian people, I've seen some videos of them coming out being bold as hell. They like, oh, y'all black people can't survive without us. Like, oh, no, Playboy, it's the opposite of that. Y'all opened up shop in black neighborhoods.
Yeah,
like,
don't even like us.
Yeah, what happens when people stop coming to you and go down the street to somebody else? You're gonna go out of business, and you can't open up shop in white neighborhoods because they ain't gonna buy from you. The only place you can actually open up shop in somebody else's neighborhood and make money is black people. And if we keep doing what we're doing and only stop shopping and buying with ourselves and stop other people, they can't do that with us no more. And then we become a threat. This is something that the power structure knew could always happen and they never wanted to happen. They don't want us to be self-sufficient and self-determined. And it's starting to happen because they're the ones causing this shit. So fuck Jay-Z. Like, trust me, listen. I've been listening to Jay-Z since I was a kid. His first album, I mean, the dude is an animal. Like, I can't deny that. It's like how I feel about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, I think he's the best basketball player of all time, right? But he be super cool. So off the court, he is super cool. On the court, he an animal. Jay-Z, when he in the booth, he's the man. Outside the booth, the motherfucker is super cool. Like, I can't believe it, but it's happening. And I go back to what Why Seeking Knowledge said, because I believe that too. I believe that they basically have him by the balls with a vice grip, and they're saying, if you don't do this, we're gonna expose you on some humiliation shit that we've done to you or that we got on you. And the examples are Puffy, Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying? We have seen people in our community who they done tore down if you don't do what they want you to do. Oprah don't want that to happen to her, and now Jay-Z don't want that to happen to him. So I think that that's where he's in. I hope it's that, and I'm gonna tell you why I hope it's that. Because if it's really just he a super cool ass motherfucker, right, and he just don't give a shit about black people, you're going to be this thing called a man without a country, and that's what Stephen A. Smith is doing too. Like you were saying that earlier. I said what I said.
Yeah.
What
Well,
do you do
pause for a second. Pause for a second. Keep your thought though. But at the end of the day, it's a nice thing to want to hope that that's what Jay-Z is doing, but he already told you what it is. And when someone tell you something, believe him the first time. He told you he didn't give a F about you or me. Okay. Well, not me. Hold on. Let me change that because I'm not a bee. But he said he don't care about you or bees.
I know what you're saying. And he said it. And it's like,
so he already done gave you your answer, and I know you hope and wish and pray, but it ain't happening.
Either way, it's still terrible because I get like you can go back to Malcolm X. He was the FBI brought him and they got audio with this. They told him that you're going to die. They didn't say that they were going to kill him, but they just said you're going to die if you don't, follow suit. He was offered millions of dollars to start his own version of Black Islam to go against the nation. And he said, no, that's something that most of these motherfuckers would never turn down. They'd take that shit in a second. So, and what happened? Death. You know what I'm saying? These people ain't trying, Jay-Z ain't trying to die for no damn body. He's trying to kick it. So, yeah, but just back to what I was saying about the man without a country thing, it's like what happened with OJ. You became a house nigga your whole life. Then you went out there and got on trial for murder against these two white people who you probably killed. I don't know if you did or not. That's another story, whatever. And everybody was against you. The whole white people was against you. It don't take much for white people to turn against a nigga, no matter how much they love you, right? Like, it don't take much. And you was a man without a damn country. Black people didn't support OJ because they loved OJ. They just supported him because he was black. That's all it was, which meant something, right? But it's the same thing with Jay-Z, like in this situation, and Oprah and all these other people. You don't want to be in a situation where you got isolate yourself from your own community, and then white people don't really care about you either, because then you're gonna be all by yourself on a boat in the middle of the ocean without a nation.
Well said, well done. Let me play this clip real quick, and we'll call it a night. Here we go.
Thought was amazing. Take a listen.
Target is outside with a boombox like, please come and holler at me. Please take me back, Black community. It is becoming more than apparent that when major corporations have challenges connecting with the Black community, the response is to call Jay-Z. But the problem is when they call Jay-Z, Jay-Z does not have the character or the resources to make the call worth it. If they are calling someone with power, then that power should be leveraged. If Target says, we need you to help us talk to the Black community, Jay-Z should be able to say, okay, I like the idea. I'm open to it, but do me a favor. Figure out how can we collectively and collaboratively get 600,000+ Black women back into the workplace. And if the Target says that seems like a big thing to do, the response should be, well, You have the resources to do so. So tell me what could happen to get 500,000 women reemployed. And if you can come back with that, then I will figure out how to release my album through you and work with you directly on repairing the relationship with the community. We do not have that. What we have are people who are willing to show that they are in support of Black consumption, but they are not in support of Black construction. That is the part that is not being discussed. Black people are constantly being asked to consume, buy the album, support the brand, watch the game, stream the music, go to the store. But when it is time to build something structural for Black people, the same urgency is not there. And that is the issue with the Jay-Z and the Target moment. When corporations call powerful Black figures to reconnect with the Black community, what are those figures requiring in return? Nothing.
I told you guys this.
I think that was
Yesterday.
bars right there.
Bars.
That was bars.
He was super cooking on that one, yeah.
So any last words for this evening?
I think sis said it all. Me
She
and her
broke it
basically
down,
was on,
didn't she?
yeah, she broke it all the way down, and me and her basically was on the same page. I just couldn't articulate it as well as she did, but yeah, it's basically what it is. And I didn't even think about that part about what are you gonna do for my people? You want my people to come back to you. So what are you gonna do for them?
Right.
Yeah.
He's worried about himself. That's it.
Yeah. And so that's another confirmation for Deontay.
Yeah.
That it
Yeah,
is what it is.
DJ probably having a good old time. He probably like, yeah, man, ever since Deontay been coming on here, like, shit, we done got him against Kumar, now we got him against Jay-Z. I'm killing it. Like, yeah, man, no. I mean, the whole thing is just a terrible situation, man. And it's like, I really hope that it's not, it don't matter how it's happening, man. This guy decided to do this shit, man. And he had to know that he was going to get backlash from it, and he didn't care. If you go back to what he was saying in 2016 with the We Passed the Kneeling, and he said he followed that with saying, now it's about the actionable items. What are we going to do from it? Well, Playboy, you done had 10 years, man, and nothing happened from that.
Right.
You know, so we know that nothing's going to happen from this. You done just got exposed majorly. You done exposed yourself. That's why. That's another reason how I know, like, as calculated as this person has been throughout his whole career, there's no way that he would make a misjudgment step like this unless he was getting pressured from somebody to do this shit. And I felt like he got pressured in that Kaepernick situation too. So whatever, damn him, he couldn't stand up on his own. But the beauty of this whole situation is that the whole Black community, for the most part, the majority of us, are moving along from this. We've seen who the bad actors are, who the super coons are. They've been weeded out, and we just gonna keep on pushing.
Bars.
I like that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, and again, thank you so much, Deontay. And I said what I said. Excellent commentary. Excellent. I mean, the comments in the chat are fire. Y'all on the stage are fire. I swear. So, and tomorrow we go over that situation with that you both so eloquently broke down before with Carmelo. There's a lot going on there. I'll tell you one thing, I'm being nice. Mr. Metcalf kind of showed his A, and I think he pretty much I'm trying not to be optimistic, but he didn't help the situation of an appeal not being granted. Let's put it that way. Because what I have learned in a cursory form, I mean, from the outside, is that these two, that the Metcalf kids were supposed to be nice kids, right? And the father was a good man. But when he showed his butt, to me, that was like, okay, there's an opportunity here to establish an appeal and to dig deeper. Because the discussion that we had last time on here, believe it or not, a lot of it I didn't even know. I didn't know, Carmelo was sitting down. That's a big deal to me. It doesn't sound like a little bit. It might not sound like a big deal, but when you talk about aggression and you talk about instigation, the fact that he was sitting down and still sat down while he was being harassed, this is looking different to me. And if the thing is that Carmelo Metcalf must have attacked Carmelo to get close enough to be stabbed in the chest. And I understand that they're trying to say, well, you don't bring a gun to a knife fight, or a fist or a knife to a fist fight. That's the argument. But then when I heard more that he was being accosted by more than one person, now things are getting weird to me here. They're getting weird to me here. There is the thing is this. They're trying to say, well, you didn't have to go ahead and jab the dude. And that's basically all he did. It's not like he put multiple wounds on this man. But the thing is that when you are threatened and your life is at risk, if you feel your life is at risk, you don't get what they're trying. You'll see it tomorrow. But one guy was saying, well, there were no bruises on the kid and all this kind of stuff. It's like we're talking about dudes that are like totally way bigger than this man. And there was more than one of them. There was at least two and could have been at least six around him. He ain't got no time. So I'm not saying, oh yeah, he's 100% innocent. I'm saying that this is up for grabs now. This is up for grabs. We need to see more of this tape. I need to see the tape. I need to see exactly what happened. I know they got it on tape somewhere. I want to know where that tape's at. What y'all think?
I think the conflict, if it's true, the conflict of interest is enough to cause for really a new trial. For the appeal to go through, because it was supposedly the judge know Metcalf and the DA know Metcalf's father.
See,
supposedly they got a picture with all three of them on a picture together.
Okay, if there's a picture of them together before the incident, we got a problem here.
Or even after too, in my opinion.
Yeah, we got a problem. We got a problem here because, and the thing is that Metcalf's father made it clear that he don't like us, because if he would have just cussed out Metcalf, well, you could kind of understand. But he made it clear he was talking about all of us in his rant.
He made it about all the black people. If he would have just kept it, that's what I was saying last time we were on. If he would have just kept it aimed at Carmelo and his parents, then I could have gave him one of those little shards of a 1% benefit of the doubt. Like, all right, you just pissed at these people because their son killed your son, and at worst come to worst, even if their son locked up in jail forever, at least they can still talk to him and see him. You can't never see yours or touch him again. But when you went in on the whole community, I was like, oh yeah, this ain't got nothing to do with your son. I mean, you was thinking this shit way before your son got killed by a black kid.
Right.
Who, by the way, that he attacked. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm like, I don't think that his son, like I said, these are kids, and I mean, we were all kids before, but personally, me, I've been in situations where I've been in fights with little teenage white boys when I was a teenager over some dumb shit that was racist or whatever. They didn't deserve to get killed over it. We were just ignorant kids, and we was just, I mean, they were just being ignorant kids. We were fighting, but it wasn't like something they wasn't trying to kill me. We was just whatever. But still, as they say, once you do something, you cannot dictate what the consequences are going to be. If I come in your house and smack the shit out you, and then tell you I'm about to beat the shit out you, if you decide to pull out a shotgun and blow me to hell, like I can't get mad at the consequence because I'm the one that started the whole thing. That's the point. Don't do it in the first place.
Right. I mean,
so yeah,
that's
what
that's the thing. And I found out, and I looked up the law, and I'll probably be a broken record tomorrow, but there was no legal reason for them to tell him to leave. And not only that, but it shows class and hospitality to have an opposing person. I mean, it wasn't like they were going to war. It's not like two gangs. We're talking about two opposing teams, two opposing schools. And many a times one person will change schools and might be on the other team. So that's how you bring goodwill, is that you treat everybody the way you would want to be treated, opposing team or not. It was kind of extremely, at the very least, very immature for them to say, oh, you got to leave. They know why he's there. He wants to keep dry. They know why he's there. He wasn't doing anything. If he was causing a havoc, or he was like, slicing people with his little knife beforehand, then that would have been different. But he was just minding his own business. And they was like, so what are you doing with a knife? It's like, it wasn't even a knife. It was a tool with a knife on it. I've seen those tools before. I take one when I go fishing.
It's legal. It's legal in Texas to have a knife that's that's anywhere from 3 to 5 inches. That's legal in Texas. And think about it. That's not enough knife to really take. If he was really trying to do something, I don't even think the whole thing went inside the boy's chest at the end of the day.
Well, if he was really trying to do something, he'd have stabbed him more than once.
And also, Deontay, also to support your point about the bully crap, the daddy supposedly was doing domestic abuse with the mother, and so the sons had to go in and really fight him off of their mama. So basically, you have this you have what's his name, Carmelo, who's never had a record, great student, great everything, right? Great kid. As far as our standards, really a gold standard in our community to get through 18 years and not get in trouble and not have no record and not be no thug or anything. So he was doing all the right things for 18 years. And then and his family, I haven't seen anything in the news where his family had records, because I'm sure if his mama was a criminal, his daddy was a criminal, that would have been out on social media as polarized as this case was. And I've never heard anybody say anything about them having a record. True. But on the opposite side of the fence, I heard that the dad had a record. And now this is allegedly, because it's all hearsay, and it's all just like different commentators that I've been watching on different platforms, and I didn't put it through Chat GPT, so I don't know if it's totally true or not. But this is what social media streets are saying, right? And so supposedly the father have a record also, and so you beating up the mom, so you got a violent family,
Right. If
okay?
that's the case,
Your
if that's
family
the
violent.
case, yeah, if that's the case, and I want to save our conversation for tomorrow. Hopefully y'all can make it. But if that's the case, this is a whole different can of worms right here. This is a whole different can of worms. I'm going to do some digging tomorrow to see if I can find out whether, this, because the one thing I did find out, which is I completely perked my ears as well. Metcalf doesn't live with his wife. The daddy Metcalf don't live with his wife.
No, he don't.
No, he beat the hell out of her. He not allowed in the house. Like, it's over with for that.
That's a big deal to me, because that means that this man, whether they are still married or not, the fact that this man is not welcome to stay with his own wife or his estranged wife means something went down. Now, you cannot separate, oh yeah, the man and the see, that's the concern I have. I mean, you see where I'm going with this. It's like things are getting a little bit messy here. Things are getting a little bit messy. And the way he went off on black people, and it was black people, it wasn't just Metcalf. I mean, it wasn't just Carmelo's father. He went off on all of us. He was you people. I've heard that shit before a lot.
He messed up real bad with that, because this trial goes to, they got so many different bases of appeal there. I think they're going to definitely get one. And his new lawyers, because I saw that Carmelo's parents said that basically they got advice from a lot of people, other black lawyers, who told them that they should get a white lawyer, which is crazy. And I figured that's what happened. Whatever their new lawyer is, once they get the appeal, they can call the father in as a character witness for his own damn son. They can subpoena him for that, for the one that got killed and the one that's still alive. And they can bring up all of the shit that he just said in that rant. And then they can go in on him and ask him why he on the stand under oath. Oh, is this how? I mean, they can replay the actual video in court. This is what his dumb ass didn't understand. I'm like, dude, they're going to replay this video in court with you on the stand, and you have to testify because they're going to subpoena you. And they're going to ask you about if I was the lawyer, every single sentence he said, I would play every sentence and stop at the end and question him about every sentence he said. I'll give
keep in mind though, the judge got to allow that to come in. And so maybe he's banking on the judge is not going to let that come in as evidence.
Check this out.
It's the privilege of it all.
Check this out. And we're going to talk about it more tomorrow. This is where it gets really weird. Guess who is retiring soon?
I know, Alito.
The judge.
Yeah. Oh, the judge in the case?
Yes. By the time the case roll around, he ain't going to be the judge.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he better make sure he dotted his I's and crossed his T's. Because in this good old state, in this good old boy state here where I live in, you're a commodity. Everybody's a commodity. And so they'll send us down the road. They'll send them down the road also.
Yeah, he retires. The judge retires. That's why, to me, it's like this. There was really no reason for him to take the case in the first place.
Right.
But we'll go over that tomorrow. I'm cutting myself off because we got a lot to discuss. But please,
DJ, hold on. I just want to just say something real quick, right, about the Jay-Z thing, and I'll be done. I heard a lot of people say, I heard a lot of people saying that his Target deal was just business, right? I'm saying, well, it's just business, right? Let me tell you something. If it was really just business, then white banks would give loans to qualified black people for businesses and home loans. It's not just business. You know what I'm saying? It's personal when they do that shit. So it ain't just business for Jay-Z doing this. Like, oh, it's just business. I'm just trying to make money. Like, nah, Playboy, you know what you're doing. Because Jewish people, white people, all these other groups, they purposely keep their money in their own communities for certain things, especially when it's about them. So it ain't just business. He's either being told to do this shit, being forced or coerced to do it, which is, I believe, what's going on, or he just a super cool ass individual who don't care about his own people, and he's only really black. And it's funny because he made a song called "The Story of OJ," talking about how OJ was being a coon. It's
Well,
crazy.
I think it's C.
Yeah, but it's never. But I'm just saying, I don't believe in that. It's just business. I believe that all this
You
shit
believe it's something else
is
too.
personal at the end of the day. No matter what it is, whenever you hear somebody say, "Oh, it's just business, John," it's nothing personal. It's personal to the motherfucker, John. Don't believe me. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say about it.
Deontay, the son that you always will love to have, isn't he? That you wish you had. You're just so smart, yeah. You know, because I'm thinking of a different way. I'm just thinking it's C, Coonan in Chief, Coonan in Chief number 2, or 2.0, and he care about his money. That's what he's always giving me. It's always about business and his money. And I remember listening to him a long time ago when he was saying that he, all this stuff that he wanted to build wealth and he wanted to be, he wanted to make that paper. And everything he sing about is all about that paper. So I'm inclined to believe it's C. He just being a coon and he want that paper and they're using him. But I don't follow him, so Deontay may know more about him than I know about him because he's not somebody that I pay real close attention to. And I only like a couple of his songs, so I definitely, you can take that with a grain of salt from what I'm saying about it because I'm not that, I'm not that familiar with Jay-Z. I don't, follow him like that. But I just feel like we're in this time and place right now where it's every man for himself and everybody trying to make any kind of money that they can make because there's so many people, we all can see where all this is going. Whether we want to admit it or not, we all see, I'm thinking like, big time hunger and homelessness and despair and I'm thinking it's gonna get really really rough for people, and I feel like Jay-Z is smart enough to watch what's going on, because you can't be a business person and not pay attention to what's going around, what's going on in the world and what's going on around you, and and how the economy is going or what have you. So I just feel like everybody just trying to, this is like a big money grab for all the millionaires and billionaires to grab every penny that they can grab because they know it's not going to be some pennies down the line. So that's how I look at that, Deontay.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And just to finish it off, like I do think Jay-Z sees all of this. I do think he's a very smart person. And this is why I keep going back to, like Yolanda said earlier, I believe that he's being pressured. It's not, I don't think it's about the money for him. He worth $2.5 billion. I believe it's about his freedom. I believe that they will find and put a way for him to end up in prison, embarrassed, ashamed, or dead if he doesn't do what they want him to do with this particular move. I believe the same thing happened to Oprah. I think it's going to happen to somebody like LeBron and all of these people at that level. I don't think that they want that when they first start off in the beginning, but it's something that just naturally happens in this society. When you make it that big, you got to eventually make a choice. That's why I think Kanye went crazy and off the edge, because he was given the same thing. He said, I mean, whatever,
Dave
so.
Chappelle too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you could be onto something, Deontay.
Yeah, it's buck wild, but we can do this shit all day, DJ. So, I'll stop talking now, and we can continue this, next time, man. But yeah, I was just picking.
Yeah, excellent.
Well,
All right,
happy
everybody.
June 19th to everybody.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
That's
June
right.
19th. Yeah, it's a big
Thank you
holiday.
for
And
reminding me. I need to put like a Juneteenth banner on the next thumbnail.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's definitely go over that tomorrow. I think also Sugar Love knows a lot about the situation too, so maybe she'll come up and definitely we need to promote her channel as well. And definitely. But anyway, of course, y'all did me again. You did me again. I mean, I'm not supposed to be political. You guys got me into it. You guys are killing me.
Listen, that be Deontay. And
you got me.
And then I gotta respond,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But definitely tomorrow. I mean, I really appreciate you all coming up, and I really appreciate the chat. Let me go ahead and hit the beat and give the shout outs because really truly it's you all make this happen. I really appreciate that. Again, I said what I said. Wisdom ain't cheap. Sugar Love. Deontay doesn't have a channel yet. I mean the geniuses in the chat. Thank you. This is DJ Torch. Let me hit the beat.
DJ Torch and friends. It's about to go down, baby. Yeah. Round and around and around. Yeah.
Shout out to Phoenix Soul, who should have her own channel because she has knowledge. Wisdom ain't cheap. Thank you so much for coming through. Check out her channel. She's got a lot of great videos. Kevin, the lifestyle guy in the house. Kevin, do you have a channel? Let me know. Why is Seeking Knowledge is in the house? And why is Seeking and why has knowledge? Shout out to definitely, I said what I said, and Deontay on stage.
A gentle sound, hearts open wide when the love goes round.
I like to take a shout out to all the day ones out there. I see you in the clouds. Thank you for your support. This song by the infamous Ghost. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming through.
We share, we laugh, we grow. Respect the space. Love goes around.
Remember, we're going to be live tomorrow with another live stream. Carmelo and Metcalf. Then Saturday, Exoticals. Stingy, Kendra G on Saturday night. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Enjoy your evening.